Thanks everybody for coming along to the webinar, the 5 money hacks that all couples should know. I'm going to get started because I've got lots of information to get through. I'm just going to open up and do a share screen for a moment. Just bear with me while I do that. Here we go. Should be able to share the screen. I'll talk through a few housekeeping things, but just for now, if you could just do a thumbs up or type something in the chat just to let me know that you can see the shared screen. I'm hoping it's positive that you can see the screen for now. So let's get started. The webinar, the 5 money hacks that all couples should know. I'm just going to just double check for a second. Yep, that's all good. Minimize that. I'm going to start off with, let me just make that larger. Here we go. So I'm just going to start off with the welcome and the housekeeping. And I just for other participants that are on, I just wanted to know, can you see the notes section as well? Or is it just the screen itself? Fantastic. Thank you, everybody, for feeding back. So welcome along. I know it's a midweek, so I am going to keep this to just the relevant information. And I'm very pleased that you could come along and join in for this webinar. I know it's going to be really helpful. A couple of pieces of housekeeping. Firstly, I've got my husband Paul to join us. And the second part is I just wanted to let you know that these money hacks are the hacks that we use ourselves. And I'm just going to minimize that a little bit. Sorry, everybody, I'm just doing a little bit of moving around because it's, I'm going to do that so I can see everybody. So these are the money hacks that we use ourselves, and I want to share them with you because there's lots of fantastic assistance, or they can simplify your money in so many ways. So if you don't have any pen and paper, don't worry too much. Feel free to have it nearby if you've got it. But I am going to send out a resource sheet afterwards and a replay as well. So you can have that and know what you've, all the different money hacks that you've got. The agenda for tonight, if you've got your phone there, maybe just pop it on silent as well. It just means that you're able to concentrate on the information that I'm sharing. And the agenda is I'm going to go through the 5 money hacks, and then I've got one last tip that's really kind of rounds off all the hacks together. So I thought it was really important to share that last tip with you as well. A little bit of information about me and of course of Paul as well. So over the last 10 years, we have together developed this Wealthy Life system. And as part of that system, we've refined it and we've tested it, and we've really, sorry, just checking in on the chats there. Oh, okay. I just got to change to slideshow mode, which is that, does that work better in terms of slideshow mode? Thank you. That's fantastic feedback. And I'm sorry, guys. I'm just going to see if I've got somebody who wants to come in and they're just not able to get through, which is a shame. Okay. Yep, I'm just going to quickly just send this and see if it works. Okay, so that's a little bit, so Paul and I have developed this Wealthy Life system, and money hacks are a really key part of that. the reason why we developed it is we've been through lots of ups and downs with our own money. You know, had different times where we've had setbacks and we've had to live, you know, paycheck to paycheck, as you know, lots of people have in their lives. And we developed this system to overcome lots of those times so that we could make sure that we were managing our money. And really through that period of time, we've been able to have a financial transformation. And also it's really definitely what we've achieved, we want to share to others because we've had that passion, we've got that passion to pass it on. So that's what we're definitely, that budget stuff is all about. Just to give you a little bit of a taste about where we've come, because I think it's always important to really understand what people's journeys are. So I have put together a series of photos of our houses that we have, probably just really illustrate what our journey has been over a number of years. So back in 2005, we had our unit that we paid $332,000 for. Then you can see that we then moved into our home in Leeming in 2010, and we paid $690,000 for that. And then in September 2014, we moved into a suburb we'd been wanting to move back to for some time. We moved back to Mount Pleasant, and for that house we paid $1.07 million for. And then we for whatever reason, we decided not to stay with that house we were going to build, but we decided to move elsewhere. And we got to find our home, which is just a home that we've been kind of waiting for and wanting for a long period of time, mainly because it's got a lot of opportunity for us to entertain and have lots of people over. And also it's close by to the river, it's only a few minutes walk. And so that's our home that we have now, which we love. So we paid $1.7 million for that. And we've been able to do that because of our money systems and being able to essentially manage our money. So that just gives you a little bit of an idea of our journey. What are you going to take away from this webinar? So there's 5 hacks that we have put together here for the webinar. And as part of those hacks, there's going to be one of those that are going to jump out to you. So I really don't want you to take those 5 hacks away. Sorry, I'm just going to have somebody join the room. Thank you for joining in. So I really want you to not take away all of those 5 money hacks tonight. I want you to, when I explain each of those money hacks, and Paul's going to explain it too, I want you to think about which one of those money hacks jump out at you, and that's the one I want you to think about. And I've got a little bit of a plan because I want that one for you to take away and start working on tomorrow. And once you have firmly embedded that money hack into your habits, into your systems and your way of managing your money, that's then the right time to take on another money hack. So out of each of these 5, think about the one that jumps out to you, and that's the one that you need to take on. First money hack is money motives. So with all of us, we all have different family situations. We've got different upbringing. You know, we've had parents with different parenting styles, money styles, I should say. We've all had different experiences. If you've been at uni and been a uni student, you know that, you live kind of on a very meager income. And even our values all contribute to us and our money motives. So money motives is what we think about money and why we have, and what we think and why we think about it. And I'll talk through a little bit of those in a moment, because, and I'll share with you what our money motives are as well. So money motives and having different money motives, particularly in a couple, is great. In fact, I think it's fantastic. And the reason being is we all have strengths and we all have weaknesses. And when we have, 2 of us together in a couple, you're bringing more strengths, more weaknesses. So it just gives you, it really just rounds out those strengths and those skills in your relationship. And obviously you have a different background as well. So having different money motives is not a bad thing. In fact, I think it's a great thing because we can then learn from each other. So a few of the different kinds of money motives are people who might want to have security from their money. Some of those want freedom. Some people want independence. Some just want to build up their money for the reason of seeing it in their bank account. So there's all different money motives. And I'm just going to pass to Paul, who's going to talk a little bit about our money motives.
Thanks, Alicia. So a couple of the other types of motives are actually love and power. So that's rounding out the main ones. From Alicia's and my point of view, my motive is definitely freedom. Alicia's is security. So understanding that has been so helpful for us over the journey, because it helps us get past the little things and have that general understanding of where each other's coming from. So definitely like this hack, and good to know.
And the thing is, once you know each other's money motives, it helps to have those conversations and you can understand where your partner's coming from. So this is one I strongly encourage you to talk about and think about, talk about your different upbringing, talk about your experiences, and get to understand what each of your own money motives are, and your strengths and weaknesses too. Okay, hack number 2, the money file. So as we know, the admin of money can be quite overwhelming. You know, you have bank accounts, you've got super accounts, you've got shares, maybe life insurances. You know, when you do your tax return, there's all those kinds of things. And, you know, it can be quite difficult and overwhelming to have it all organised. So, and we know from our own experience that it can be quite tricky. We've, you know, over the times that we've wanting to find tax file, tax returns or different bits and pieces. And when I talk about that, I'm talking about the hard copy version. And then, of course, you've got the electronic version as well. You know, you've got, you have your electronic statements, you've got your access to all of your different bank accounts and super accounts. So this money hack is all about organising all of your money and having a money file. So that's having a hard copy money file. So whether it's a file, whether you have all of your documents in together, you might even have it in a, you probably can't see it behind me, maybe a filing cabinet, maybe you have it secure as well. But it's really important to make sure that all your money documents and related information is all filed correctly and in the right way. And then, of course, it's all of your electronic documents as well, making sure that they're all filed. So, you know, if you're having them on your home desktop, understand that there's some logic and there's some system to your filing. And then, of course, really, really important that you need to have all of that backed up, because the last thing you want to do is have it lost. And, of course, you don't want to have it accessed by anyone as well. Just getting back to the hard copy as well, I want to mention it's really good to constantly and regularly declutter, because it's very easy to be picking up piles or having piles of money documents building up, particularly if you've noticed, if you do receive hard copy bank account statements sent out to you, and if it's in your and your partner's name, the bank sends you both. So you normally get 2 copies, and that can build up easily. So one very last part about that, 2 last parts about that, make sure you're sharing with each other, so you both know that you've got, you know, different people have different super accounts, might have different bank accounts. So just make sure you're across what all that different, those money documents are, whether it's electronic or hard copy. And the very last one, talking about security, is having a password, having secure passwords and sharing those passwords. We came across more recently friends of ours, their parents, it was very sad because the father passed away, and when the mum went to work out about the money, was found out by our friends that she didn't have access to any passwords. She didn't know anything about their bank accounts, their super, their shares or anything. And they had to do a whole lot of super sleuthing to try and work out and find out how much money they had and where that money was. Okay, we're on to hack number 3. And hack number 3 is me money. And I think, Paul, we're going to talk a little bit about me money.
Yes, me money. This is essentially where you both have a small allocation that goes directly to each partner, either monthly or fortnightly. And essentially it's just yours to have as you please, and it's not accountable. And this is a really good one, just to have that little bit of independence.
Yep. And what's, you'll hear people, they talk about it as fun money or pocket money or splurge money. As Paul said, it allows you to have that freedom and that independence to, have some spending on whatever you feel like it. And it's really important as well. I think I'm going to say this particularly as Paul's here. It's really important to be able to buy something for the other partner without them knowing, because if it gets bought from a shared bank account or shared debit card, the other person can see. And also it just makes a little bit more of excitement to not know how much and not know that you've got a gift being bought for you. We have this, we both each week, because we get money coming in each week, we have money allocated to what we call our fun money. And it's up to us what we do with it. So Paul chooses what to do with his, separately to mine, of course. And what we do also work out beforehand is what comes out of that, because I suppose you don't want to be thinking that somebody has to pay bills out of that. This really is with the whole purpose of having fun and enjoying yourself. So that is the me money. We're up to hack number 4, which is money jobs. So I'll tell you in a moment, or I'll get Paul to tell you in a moment how we allocate our money jobs. But just like the paperwork, there is so much admin to do with money. And the more you can streamline that and have systems around that, the better, because I'm sure you are the same. It's much better to spend your time on other things. It's also really good for you as a couple to be across what all those tasks are. So depending on whoever's doing those tasks, that doesn't matter, but at least if both of you know what those tasks are, you can be aware if something was to happen, or aware of how you might need to pick up a task. I'm going to let you, Paul, talk about how we do this and how we do money jobs.
Look, the jobs are allocated by mutual agreement and depending on what our strengths and weaknesses are and what we have the capacity to do. So there's no right or wrong, but once we know it's been assigned, it's a set and forget. So it's really helpful. And it's a practical hack, like hack 2 was, in relation to the following. And I can only say it's so important because it sets that positive environment for your ability to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. So really important hacks 2 and 4.
Sometimes naturally just one partner might take on those money jobs than the other, which is fine. It is good to share it, particularly if it becomes, a little bit tedious or too much for one person. Really important for each of you to know who is doing what. We have had this scenario before where I thought I was paying a bill and Paul thought he was paying a bill and the bill got paid twice. So that's probably a not so bad issue. It's when those bills get forgotten or some kind of money payment doesn't happen, because you can get fees or penalties or things like that. So it's a really good one that stops that double up. I am going to now go into hack number 5. I love this word, but I don't know if I always pronounce it correctly. Your money cachet.
Cash.
See, I knew I got it wrong. Your money cache. You probably all know exactly how to pronounce this much better than me. So this is one of the fundamentals of success with your money. And it's all about, and in fact, all of the experts in personal finance, this is one thing that they all talk about. And what a money cache is, it's a definition, it's a collection of items of the same type stored in a hidden or inaccessible place. So this is actually all about making sure that you save money and making sure that the first thing you do when money comes into your bank accounts or comes into your household each week, fortnight or month, that you firstly allocate what the amount of money you want to save out. Because when you allocate that money that you want to save out as your first task, it means it really does go to savings. Because if you wait until you've see how much you've spent that week, fortnight or month, quite often you might not have any money left. And secondly, you might not actually have the amount of money that you want to have saved. When that money is already put into another bank account, and preferably if it's a bank account you can't access, then you are almost 100% sure of saving that money. So that's your money cache. It's about making sure that you have that money tucked away It's really important that we all put money away first, because that's how we get ahead financially. I've just got this book here. It's one of my most favourite books, The Richest Man in Babylon. It's really short, quick, easy to read. And the very first lesson that they talk about in this book is, if you earn 10 coins, only spend 9 coins and put that 1 coin away each week, and that builds up. And then there's other strategies from there, but that's a really old book, and it's a well-known money hack about making sure you get that money away straight away. So just before I head into the very last tip, which I hopefully is going to round everything off for you, I want to let you know about that Money Club. And this is a new club that is starting up on the 1st of April. It's a membership group, and it's a way for people to come together. Or I'll just go to the next slide actually so you can see it. It's a way for people to come together, for people to learn simple and effective ways to manage their money, and they can reach their financial goals sooner. And, you know, it's so good to be able to learn from people that understand and have those skills, knowledge and experience with money. It's also really good to learn from other people, and that's also the purpose of this Money Club. So what do you get in this Money Club? I'll just quickly tell you. You get so much value for such a small monthly amount. There's going to be, as I say, there truckloads of information of how to make your money work for you. And in all honesty, you can have your monthly fee returned to you tenfold in that first month, because the first session, masterclass session I've got lined up, is amazing. So on that note, there's going to be live monthly expert masterclasses. There's going to be a monthly group coaching session with me. There's going to be a monthly money plan for you to follow if you want to as well, and digital resources. So that's what you're going to get each month. I'm doing this to get people on board and to reward people for coming on board from the beginning. I've got a foundation member price of $17 per month, or alternatively $170 per year. So it's a couple of months saving. That's going to go to the first 20 memberships of people that come on board for that price, and they can keep that price for however long they stay as a member. And then after that, those first 20 people, the monthly fee is going to go up to $37 per month, or to $370 per annum. So let me know. I'll send some more information about that, because it's a great way to be start managing your money and heading towards your financial goals. Bonus tip. This is so important. All that information we talked about and about money hacks for couples is all centered on one really key strategy. And that key strategy is about being accountable. And, you know, if we can be accountable to someone else, it means that we will do something. For example, I'm going to talk about running. If we said to somebody, I'm going to see you at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning for a run, when we don't feel so good in the morning or tired, we're still going to get up and get there, because we know we've got that person to be accountable to. It's the same with your money. And if you can have someone to be accountable to, you are more likely to be successful with your money and achieve success, and, you know, complete all those actions that you need to do. I do a lot of accountability with a lot of the clients that I work with as part of the packages and the systems. I build it into those. I also just then do one-on-one accountability as well, to keep people in check, to make sure that they're achieving the actions that they want to achieve. And alternatively, it's second best is definitely your partner can be your accountability person. So how do you do that? And you would do it, like, for example, as you would any kind of formal relationship. You know, you book a meeting in with each other, you put it in your calendar, you make sure that you're ready, available for that meeting with each other. It doesn't have to be a long meeting, and it doesn't have to be a formal meeting. It could be 15 minutes, and it could be just some time together at the dining room table. Or alternatively, you might want to go out and have a coffee together or something. Have a little bit of an agenda. So just know what you want to talk about. And also from that, have some action. So if somebody, like for example, if one of the things was Paul was going to go and check the mortgage rates, you know, we would write that down and go, okay, Paul's going to check the mortgage rates, and he knows that that's something he's going to be accountable for. And then when we catch up again, he'd check in, or we might even just say casually to each other. As I've said, make it fun. if you want to go and do it, have that little catch up or that meeting at a coffee shop. Maybe get yourself some takeaway or something that night, have something nice for dinner, or maybe you want to have that and even go out for dinner afterwards as a bit of a reward. Always with everyone I work with, I always talk about rewards and celebrating. When you've done the hard work and you've put in the effort, you want to acknowledge that, because it makes it a really positive experience. So definitely build in a reward and build in a celebration. So I'm now going to stop sharing the screen, and I am going to move into thank you and questions as well. Feel free to unmute yourselves, guys, and ask me any, or actually maybe ask Paul, because he might be better at it than me, any questions that you might have, or any clarification on any of the money hacks that I talked about, or if you have any questions about the that money club. If you don't have any questions, or if you prefer to make contact one-on-one, definitely do that. I'm always here via email or phone. I'd be really happy to answer any questions, talk you through anything that you wanted to ask. And I might just get a feel from you. If you feel like it's, you just want to do the thumbs up and you're right to go, you feel like you've been money hacked out. I just want to go back quickly to that first thing that I said earlier at the start of the presentation. Out of those 5 money hacks, one of those is going to jump out at you and you're going to go, oh, that's the one thing we need to do, or the one thing that seems to trip us up a bit with our money and organising our money. That's the one I want you to think about. I want you to start tomorrow. And I'm just having a quick look here. And I want you to think about that one. And tomorrow is definitely the best time to do it. I think there's a Chinese proverb that said 20 years ago was the best time to plant a tree. Today is the second best time. So do it today, or in this case, you might want to try to start tomorrow with your money hack. And I really would like you to get back to me and let me know how you go with it, because it's good to know how people put money hacks into place and what works for them, and also what doesn't work for them. And I'm happy to chat more with you. Otherwise, I'm going to let you guys go and enjoy the rest of your evening. And thank you very much for joining me on the webinar, and for joining Paul on the webinar.
Thanks, guys.
The 5 money hacks all couples should know.